Hello everybody and welcome to another one of my YouTube videos. Today we've got something a little bit different. This is one of my rare replays in artillery, SPGs used in World of Tanks. This is the German Tier 8 SPG, the GW Tiger P. As you can see, it's big and it's massive. And I've recently bought this, so this is still the stock gun and the stock engine. I've 3xp'd the tracks so I can sort of, you know, put my equipment modules on, but other than that it's pretty much stock. So we're here on Siegfried line assault, and we spawned on the southern side, and on the southern side Arty really have only a couple of choices, and if you're the size that I am, you can only really go in one position to be relatively safe and out of line of sight. So that's where I'm heading to now. As you can see, I'm still trundling over there. My top speed is 13 kph. I've loaded a shell, but I'm still not in position, so I can't help my teammates. This is one of the rare games that I've actually, you know, had a good match in this SPG. So yeah, here we go. So I get into position. As you can see, I'm just behind the sort of you know, the tip of the rise here, just below the rise. So I set myself up, and at the moment all I can see is this Waffenträger E100, which is a very tempting target because he's, you know, very susceptible to artillery damage. And if you can just stand, have a quick shot, and luckily it hits. That's on the rare occasions where Arty does hit. I start lining him up again, spot that Leopard 1, but I want to concentrate on this Waffenträger E100. And as you can see, yeah, could get a shot at the Leopard as well, but I return to focus on this E100. But he's backed off behind this house. I've just reloaded, but he's still fidgeting around and I can't get a clear shot, and then he disappears. And this is one of the problems that Artys have when something, you know, you're desperately trying to line someone up and then they disappear. Now I spot this Jagdpanther 2. Again, he's moving, and with the GW Tiger P, I take a blind shot and it hits it and kills him. Now that's very unlucky. Usually that's a miss and I do no damage at all. As I was saying, with the Jagdpanzer GW Tiger P, because it doesn't have a turret, any, you know, sort of traverse with as you sort of try to aim for tanks will just cause the aiming circle to max out again. So I have another blind shot again, which hits that E75. These are very lucky shots. Normally it's not like this. I'll do a full aim and miss, because that's how inaccurate SPGs are. That Waffenträger E100's come out again, so I start lining him up again, and that's that's as small as my aiming circle gets. So even if a tank is, you know, anywhere in there, I can still miss him. Waffenträger does get spotted again, so I'll change target, try and line up this E100. As you saw, as I was sort of like trying to line him up, my reticule, you know, maxed out again. I'm still trying to get a shot at him, and there he's stopped, and then he gets taken out before I can fire. Okay, and Waffenträger's still there. Start lining him up again. He disappears. I'm going to take a blind shot, I think. Firing, and take him out. That's 2 kills. The enemy Arty gets spotted, but he's in a relatively Arty safe position there behind those houses. I can't get to him. Yep, so I leave him alone. Spot this M53 who's on the lip of this on the corner of these houses, and I've got a line of sight to him, so, or a line of, not so much sight, but an arc available to me, a fire, and it looks like that was splash damage, but it was enough to take him out, and that's my third kill. Trying to find my next target. There's this juicy E100 here, and my reticle's saying there is a line to him, so I'm slowly lining him up. He's still fidgeting though, which is a pain. And then he starts moving, and then these houses block my line of sight, or my arc of sight. I can't quite hit him. And he gets trapped there, which would have been really good for me, but I can't get a shot at him. Then the other enemy Arty gets spotted, and he is somewhere I can hit him. And he stays stationary, and I fire, and I take him out. That's my fourth kill. Spot this Tiger 2 all the way over here. Start lining him up. And he starts moving. There's this E100 here. I'd really like to take him out because he's one of the few heavy tanks they've got left. Size 3 goes for him, but as you saw there, the E100 hit him and set him on fire, and leaves him on 4%, and then gets taken out by our other Arty. Right, spot this Jag Tiger. Who again, although he might think he's safe, I've got a line of, I've got an angle to hit him, but I'm still reloading, and by the time I'm close to fully reloaded, the young tiger disappears. And that's another thing that it's very infuriating when you're playing Arty. It takes so long for your aiming reticle to line up, and then the target that you're going to fire at disappears. I'm still waiting, but someone spots him again, and I fire, but he gets taken out before my shot arrives. And now there's only 2 enemies left. This M43 who gets taken out by this T34, and this E75 who's sitting here, and he's completely covered, and I need to relocate if I'm going to shoot at him, but at my speed that's very unlikely. The other artillery piece who's at E1, yeah, he takes him out, and that's my best game. That was Tank Mastery 1, and that's my best game of the GW Tiger P. I was second on the experience points with 2,901 damage and 4 kills. Yeah, and that was the game. I only got 4 direct hits and 2 splashes, but that was enough to get me second place. Right, the second game is in the M53, M55, and this artillery piece, this is the American Tier 9 artillery. This is driven by Oscar Wilde, one of my friends, and he does play Arty quite regularly, and yeah, watch this battle. This compare the the abilities of this Tier 9 artillery piece to the German one you just saw before in the previous replay. Right, we're on Prokhorova. It looks like it's the Fairy Salient version. So Oscar initially tries to get past that Lorraine, and then he sets off to where he wants to actually start the game, and that's in the sort of bottom western corner at K1, K2. He sets off, and as you can see he's doing about 34 kph, so it's quite nippy. The American artillery piece is almost twice as fast as my German artillery piece was. This is a good map for artillery because it's flat. There's hardly any sort of artillery safe areas, and if you get spotted and there's the artillery drivers are on the ball, you can easily get completely annihilated by artillery shells. So both the team's artillery pieces have gone to this location, or I should say two out of the 3. One's remained in the same location that he started at. Okay, and Oscar starts looking for his first target. Right, I'm not quite sure what happens here. The replay goes a bit strange, or Oscar's away from his desk, because the reticle just goes bananas and starts going in a sort of off-worldly direction. Keeps going, and you just see the moon there. Not quite sure what happened here, whether Oscar was away from his desk or the the replay file's just messed up. But this will pass. And give it a few seconds. Yeah, I switched to free camera mode. That's where he's aiming, and that's where we're seeing. Okay, now it seems to have sorted itself out. Oscar starts to find, locate his first target, and those are the tanks at the foot of the hill in the extreme eastern corner. He starts lining up this IS-8, who's taking quite a bit of a pounding already, and he gets taken out before Oscar can fire. Oscar moves his aim. Watch his reticle. It doesn't expand like crazy like my GW Tiger P does, because this American SPG has got a turret, so it's got a bit more traverse than my German German SPG has. Fires at this IS-4 and hits him in the side for 650 points of damage. And there's the replay file going a bit wonky again. Not quite sure why the aiming reticle's moved away. Now it's sorted itself out again. Right, there's this Conqueror left on this side. The Oscar's team is already 3-0 up. I don't think this guy's going to last very much longer. No, he gets rammed by the E5 and gets taken out. Right, it's now 4-1. Oscar starts moving his reticle to new targets, and quite a few are spotted. He moves to this side of the map. There's this E3 here, tank destroyer, quite a dangerous tank destroyer, and he sees him moving forward. And as you can see from this side, there isn't actually that many defenders, so both the artillery pieces on this side, are going to be in big trouble, when those two TD spot them. So Oscar stays here. E3 started turning and gets smacked in the back for 1700 points of damage. Oscar's fired, and he sees how close those are, so he sees those two light tanks, the enemy light tanks, coming in as well. And Oscar decides, right, now is the time to leave. He puts the foot to the accelerator, and off he goes. Will he get away? Oh, shot whizzes past his cabin. He's at top speed now, and that's almost 50 kph, 53, 54, 55, 56. He's doing 56 kph. This is the kind of speed my GW Tiger P can only dream of. And he's managed to completely relocate from one side of the map to the other, and it looks like he's going to get away with it as well. So he takes the ridge. The game has tightened quite considerably. It's now 8-7, so it's still all to play for. Oscar keeps going, and he's managed to completely traverse this map from one side to the other relatively quickly. Gets this position over here and decides that this is about as far as he cares to go. Starts turning so he can line someone up. The scores are now 8-8, completely equal. Starts lining up this E100. It's just fired, and now Oscar's team is losing 8-10. Still lining up this E100. E100 won't stop moving. Fires, hits the E100 in the face for almost 850 points of damage. Scores are now 9-11. Oscar's team still losing. after that promising start. Oscar's still lining up this E100, but he loses the spot. And if you lose the spot, you might as well start looking at someone else, like this very heavily damaged E3. Again, the replay goes a bit crazy then, not quite sure why. Oh, it's loaded, he fires and takes out the E3. Starts searching for new targets, spots this other enemy TD, this Foch coming across the map, starts lining him up. Foch doesn't look like he's stopping. Doesn't look like he's stopping at all. Oscar's nearly reloaded. Foch goes side onto him. He's fired. Oh, hits the Foch in the back, almost kills him, and then another shot from the I7 takes him out. That was quite a bit of damage. Scores are now 12-11. Oscar's team has turned it around. And now it's just the E100, a VK4502B, and a GW Tiger left. There's the E100. He's sort of relocated all the way to back to that position at A6. He's been spotted. Oscar's team are relatively sort of, close together, so they can provide support for each other. There's the VK who's been spotted at E4, moving across the map. And now all enemies disappear again. Oscar's still lining up the E100 at I7. I think it's the I7. Oh, it's just a tree go down there. Oscar readjusts his aim. There's the E100. Oscar fires, but misses. And in fact, the shot didn't actually go where he was aiming for anyway. So, yeah. And that was a long reload. And by that time, the E100 disappears again. And meanwhile, this heavily damaged VK, he was on 17%. Oscar's nearly reloaded. Can he get another shot in? VK's backing off and disappears. Oh, there he is. Oscar fires and it falls short. That was an almost fully aimed shot, and yet, it didn't land where Oscar was expecting it to land. And that's some of the, a lot of the shots that artillery fire. That's exactly what happens to them. They, you fully aim and it still misses. So it's not as easy as it looks. I mean, people say it's easy. A lot of YouTubers say it's easy, and there's a lot of people curse Arty, but it's not as easy as it looks. Oscar's trying to line up this E100. It's nearly reloaded. E100 is moving forward. Oscar's fired and takes out the E100 for his second kill. Now it's just a GW Tiger left. He's probably sitting in A1, A2 somewhere. Yep, the enemy VK says exactly that. Oscar takes his advice and starts lining up that corner, and there he is. He's still reloading, but I don't think this GW Tiger is going to last very much longer, so yeah, he only disappeared. Oscar fires, but yeah, his shot arrives too late, and that's the end of the game. Here are the scores. He managed to get Tank Mastery 1, and he also got the Gore's medal, which is basically doing 10 times more damage to the enemy than the hit points of your vehicle. He was third on the XP listings with 4,503 points of damage. Yeah, and those are the stats.